Hello friends. What if Naruto awakened the Sharingan, and instead of becoming a hero, he became Konoha's most feared ANBU captain? Welcome to Part 1, where darkness, power, and destiny collide in an entirely new timeline. Before we begin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get started. The village hidden in the leaves, the first village of the Shinobi world. The Leaf Village is considered to be the strongest village among all the other villages. Many legends and heroes have been born in this village. The Leaf Village was known for its compassion and teamwork and considered its citizens and shinobi as equal and made no discrimination. However, that was not the case for a 5-year-old boy. This boy was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. The boy was the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox that attacked Konoha a few years ago. The Kyuubi attack had severely harmed Konoha. Countless shinobi had died sacrificing their lives in protecting the village. There were also many civilian casualties and destruction of the village and its properties. In the end, through a valiant and self-sacrificing ritual, the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was able to restrain the fox and seal it into a newborn child. The fourth Hokage is still considered the biggest hero of the Hidden Leaf and had wished for Naruto to be seen as a hero that saved the village. Unfortunately, his wish was not fulfilled. This leads us to the present, where a 5-year-old Naruto was being mercilessly beaten by a mob of people consisting of many shinobi and civilians. He had bruises all over his body. Some of his bones were broken, but the worst part was that he was still conscious and could feel each blow being dealt on his body and many painful words like, "Die demon, that is for my father," "monster," "scum," "bastard fox," and many more words were being spoken by the people. "Why do you hate me? What have I ever done to you?" asked Naruto meekly while sobbing. "You dare ask what you have done, you monster? Now I will show you what you have done," yelled one shinobi and started performing hand seals. Magen, Narukumi no Jutsu, demonic illusion, hell viewing technique. Naruto slowly felt himself surrounded in a swirl of leaves, and after a moment he was faced with the worst nightmare of his life. He was standing in a clearing field where a fierce battle was going on between many shinobi and a giant nine-tailed fox. Naruto had many nightmares of this fox since his early childhood and had always been terrified of it. The fox was killing people everywhere, people were dying, many body parts were littered all over the place, screams of the injured, fearful cries of the civilians, smell of blood all over the place, and the malicious aura of the fox all over the place. All in all, it was a nightmare. "Please make it stop," yelled Naruto in agony. "I'm sorry, stop it, stop it, stop," cried Naruto, but on hearing his pleas the mob was overjoyed and decided to kill him and get their revenge on their so-called demon. "Let's finish the demon," yelled one civilian, and the entire crowd cheered. The shinobi threw several kunai and shuriken towards Naruto, who had fallen unconscious due to the trauma. Clang clang clang. All of the kunai and shuriken were blocked by a squad of ANBU who were now standing in between Naruto and the mob. Leading the ANBU was Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, and was leaking such killing intent that made many civilians fall unconscious and many shinobi were cowering under his piercing gaze. Hiruzen deeply cared for the boy. He respected the fourth's wishes and tried to make it come true, but was not successful. He tried to make Naruto's life easy but faced many difficulties, but he would be damned if he would let anything happen to the boy whom he considered a grandson. "ANBU, execute all of these criminals for breaking the law," yelled Hiruzen, and the ANBU squad immediately followed his orders and started executing the criminals while ignoring their pleas of mercy and killing the demon instead of them. But this just enraged Hiruzen more, and within a few minutes, where once was a crowd who were willing to kill an innocent child, lay only dead bodies. "Let's take him to the hospital," said Hiruzen, picking up Naruto and checking over his injuries. "Forgive me, Minato," thought Hiruzen sadly. "Hi Hokage-sama," said the female ANBU captain, Neko, softly. She along with most of the ANBU did not hate the boy, in fact they cared for him. They knew the difference between a jailer and its prisoner and had utmost faith in the fourth Hokage's seal unlike the rest of the villagers. They had seen how the boy was just a normal kid who just wanted attention and protected him many times. But today they were a little late as the boy was severely wounded. Also contact Kakashi and tell him to meet me at the hospital and tell him if he's late, I'll strip him to genin, make him catch Tora for months, and I'll burn his entire Ika books, said Hiruzen angrily. At once, said Neko and disappeared in a shunshin to fetch the masked Junin. If Hiruzen had observed more carefully he could have heard Neko smirk when Hiruzen mentioned burning Kakashi's Ika. Konoha Hospital. 2 hours later. Currently sitting in a hospital room were 3 people. They were Hiruzen Sarutobi, Kakashi Hatake and Dr. Masumi. They were all seated around Naruto who was sleeping and was covered in bandages. How is he? Asked Kakashi sadly. Kakashi knew Naruto's parents, in fact Naruto's father was the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, who happened to be Kakashi's sensei and the closest thing he had to a father. Kakashi cared about Naruto and wanted to adopt him, but the council had prevented him from doing so, much to his regret. He had tried to be there for Naruto but had failed miserably due to being continuously on missions. But today seeing Naruto in this state made Kakashi very angry, and if the culprits hadn't been executed by the Hokage he would have executed them himself. He has a few broken bones, a mild concussion, and bruises all over his body, said Masumi sympathetically. How long will it take him to recover? Asked Hiruzen with a frown as he still was pissed off with what happened with Naruto. Physically his wounds shall heal due to his tenant, within a few hours, but that's not the problem, sighed Masumi. She hated such cruelty done to kids whether the child was a Jinchuriki or not. What happened? Asked Kakashi worriedly. It appears that the genjutsu casted on him has affected Naruto. He is in immense emotional trauma, and I'm sorry to say that Hokage-sama, but he will not be the same again, said Masumi sadly. Isn't there anything you could do like erase the memory of the incident? Asked Kakashi. That is possible, but unfortunately he has been harassed and shunned by the villagers for years. He has been beaten, abused, ostracized, and this was the last nail in the coffin and has broken his mind completely. Apparently he was shown his nightmares over and over again, said Masumi. Hiruzen and Kakashi lowered their heads in shame and guilt for failing to protect Naruto. Hokage-sama, right now the boy's spirit is broken and I'm afraid if he stays alone longer then he might become insane as the villagers will continue to harass him. He needs a family right now, Hokage-sama, people who care for him and can protect him. He is still a child and as such needs the warmth and comfort that only a family can provide. It is the only possible solution to overcome his trauma, explained Masumi briefly. I see, arigato Masumi-san. You are dismissed, said Hiruzen. Masumi bowed to the Hokage and left the room, leaving Hiruzen and Kakashi. Hokage-sama, I would like to adopt Naruto. Enough of this, he has suffered long enough. I gave my word to Minato-sensei that I will protect him like my younger brother and I have failed again. But not anymore, I'm gonna adopt him, and if the council has an objection they can kiss me, yelled Kakashi angrily. I understand Kakashi and I agree with you completely. Naruto needs a family and I will support your decision, but first we have to see if Naruto agrees or not. If he agrees then you can adopt him, I will handle the council. The clan leaders agree with me, and as for the elders and the civilian council I will show them why I am the Hokage, said Hiruzen with determination. Arigato Sandame-sama, said Kakashi with a bow. Both the men were shaken from their conversation when they heard Naruto's voice. Where am I? Asked Naruto, quietly opening his eyes slowly. I'm relieved to see you are all right, Naruto-kun. You are in a hospital, said Hiruzen sadly. I see, said Naruto dejectedly. Naruto, what's wrong? asked Hiruzen, sensing Naruto's sad look in his eyes. Gigi, why did they hate me? Asked Naruto sadly. Naruto, I will tell you someday when you are older, said Hiruzen, averting his eyes from the piercing blue eyes of Naruto. No, Gigi, you will tell me now. I'm tired of being called a monster, demon, scum. I have been beaten, spitted, abused. I deserve the right to know. I can't take it anymore, said Naruto with tears dropping from his eyes. Hiruzen hugged Naruto tightly and tried to comfort him. All right, Naruto, I will tell you the truth. What do you know about the Nine Tails attack that happened 5 years ago? Asked Hiruzen cautiously. The Yondaime Hokage defeated him and killed the Nine Tails and saved the village, said Naruto with a little pride in his eyes. He considered Yondaime his hero and wanted to surpass him. Yes, he defeated the Kyuubi, but he could not kill it. The Kyuubi cannot be killed by a human being. Despite being powerful, the Yondaime was still a man, and so he could not kill the fox, so he had to do the only thing possible, said Hiruzen, but before he could continue, Naruto interrupted him. He sealed it in me, didn't he? Said Naruto sadly, which shocked both Hiruzen and Kakashi, who were silently observing the talk from a corner in the room. How do you know that, Naruto? Asked Hiruzen, the shock evident in his eyes. It's not that hard, Gigi. I was born on October 10th, the day the Kyuubi attacked. The villagers call me demon, fox, and many other things. It also happens that I have a seal on my stomach which I saw once before in the nightmares I have often about the Kyuubi attack on the village. And now that you clarified that the Yondaime couldn't kill it, it all makes sense. Why, Gigi? Why me? Asked Naruto sadly, with a few tears dropping from his eyes. Both the men standing in the room were astonished by Naruto's accurate deduction. He is truly your son, sensei. I won't fail you anymore. Thought Kakashi was impressed with Naruto's deduction and also not snapping immediately. It took a few moments for Hiruzen to get over his shock, and after a few moments got out of his daze. He then stared at Naruto and put a hand on his shoulder. Naruto, the Yondaime didn't want to do this to you, but he had no choice. So in order to protect the village he had to seal the Kyuubi in you. He wished that you be seen as a hero for protecting the village. That was his dying wish, but the villagers have not followed it, and for that I am sorry. And as for why he chose you, because he believed in you and trusted only you to protect the village, explained Hiruzen. The Yondaime believed in me? Asked a wide-eyed Naruto. The man whom he considered his hero believed in him and trusted him to protect the village. Yes, he believed in you, Naruto, and trusted you, said Hiruzen, kindly giving Naruto a smile. Gigi, can you tell me who my parents were? Asked Naruto with hope in his eyes. Naruto, I will tell you about your parents when you are older. Tell you what, if you decide to become a ninja and reach Chunin rank, I will tell you. Don't worry, even if you don't become a ninja, I will tell you. Their identity is a big secret. They truly loved you and cared for you, and if they were alive they would still be with you, said Hiruzen, but knew that Naruto would insist more and was just waiting for the reply. I understand, I trust you, Gigi, and I hope one day you will tell me. But still I wish I had a family, said Naruto, averting his eyes from Hiruzen. You have a family, Naruto, said Kakashi, placing a hand on Naruto's shoulders. Who are you? Asked Naruto and looked up at the teenager. He was tall and had an impressive height of 6 feet 1. He was wearing the usual Konoha shinobi attire. His hitai was wrapped around his forehead but slanted so the cloth covers his left eye. The lower half of his face is covered by a blue face mask. His silver hair and single black eye were the only distinguishable features available with his face so heavily covered. His chest was covered by his green Junin vest, which had many pockets for placing various things. His blue undershirt was shown as his shoulders, and arms are covered in the blue fabric from his shirt. The only break of the blue was the same red swirl presented proudly on his left shoulder. His hands were covered in fingerless black gloves with metal hand guards. His pants were a dark blue which were rolled up, allowing for his shins to be wrapped in tape and his feet to be covered with the common blue open-toed shoes. His leg was wrapped similarly with tape and his kunai pouch on his right leg. "My name is Kakashi Hatake and I would like to adopt you, Naruto," said Kakashi with an eye smile. "Why would you do that?" asked Naruto suspiciously. "Naruto, I won't lie to you. I knew your parents, they were like family to me. I wanted to adopt you and raise you from the start. You are the only family I've got, but the council was preventing me, but Sandaime-sama has now made it possible for me to adopt you. I know I have not been there for you, but I would like to amend my mistake. You may disapprove if you do not want me to adopt you." "I will understand," said Kakashi solemnly. "Will you never abandon me? Do you truly care for me or just pity me, or just want to adopt me just because you knew my parents?" asked Naruto pleadingly. "Naruto, I do not pity you and I truly care for you. You are like a little brother I never had," said Kakashi sadly. "Arigato, Kakashi ni-san," said Naruto with a smile which Kakashi replicated with his own. "Naruto, so do you accept?" asked Hiruzen, hoping Naruto would accept the offer. "Hi," said Naruto with a small smile. "Naruto, would you like to retain your Uzumaki name or accept Kakashi's family name? Either is fine by us. You can still retain the name when you are older if you like," said Hiruzen with a smile while Kakashi gave him a nod. "I would like to keep Kakashi ni-san's name," said Naruto with a smile which pleased Kakashi even more. "Minato-sensei, Obito, Rin, I finally have a family. I won't let you down," thought Kakashi. "Gigi, I want to become a ninja and protect the village," said Naruto. Hiruzen and Kakashi both smiled and nodded. "Naruto, you will be moving to Kakashi's house and soon you will be entering the Ninja Academy. Kakashi will teach you Naruto, but tell me, what is your dream, Naruto?" asked Hiruzen. "I want to be a ninja in order to protect the village. Yondaime believed in me and I will make sure that his trust in me was the best choice. And as for my dream, I want to join the ANBU," said Naruto, shocking Hiruzen and Kakashi. "Why do you want to join the ANBU?" asked Hiruzen curiously. "I want to protect the village. The ANBU are the elite of the village, also the people respect the ANBU the most after the Hokage. They never showed any discrimination towards me and they're kind of cool. I want to be like them," said Naruto with determination. "All right Naruto, but you will have to work very hard to be an ANBU. I was an ANBU once and I know they are the toughest, so you will have to work and train harder," said Kakashi strictly. "I won't let you down, ni-san," said Naruto with a grin. "Good," said Hiruzen, happy to see that Naruto was slowly getting out of his trauma by having a family. "Gigi, ni-san, there is a problem," said Naruto carefully. "What is it?" asked Kakashi curiously. "I know that the villagers hate me and it will take some time to prove it to them that I am not the Kyuubi, but some people may attack me again and I'm not strong enough to defend myself against ninja," said Naruto firmly. Hiruzen frowned on hearing the truth in Naruto's words. Of course, after today's incident the attacks would decrease, but one cannot be sure as there were many people who hated Naruto. "I have a solution," said Kakashi and took out a black face mask from his vest and tossed it to Naruto. Naruto immediately caught it and the smile he had on his face could light up someone's day. It also pained Hiruzen and Kakashi to see that this was the first gift the boy had received and was happy. "Thanks ni-san," said Naruto and put on his face mask. "Naruto, from now on you are Naruto Hatake. Become a good man and a strong and proud shinobi of the leaf," said Hiruzen and patted the boy on the back. "Hi," said Naruto happily. Time skip. 6 months. It had been 6 months since Naruto was adopted by Kakashi. These 6 months were an entirely new experience for Naruto. He found out that Kakashi was a very calm, collected guy but was also lazy and liked to read Ika Ika books, a porn book. Naruto did not hate the book but was also not fond of reading it every time like Kakashi. He was also not lazy like Kakashi and always wanted to train. He knew that Kakashi had lost his teammates who were his closest friends and used many means to hide his pain. Reading porn was one of them. Naruto's life had also been turned upside down. No longer was he a hot-headed guy who screamed for attention. It had taken a lot of time and effort from Kakashi and a lot of reading books based on human psychology for Naruto to understand that a person should face the situation, be in control of his emotions and not get agitated soon, if he wants to be a true shinobi. Kakashi had started training Naruto. He had taught Naruto all about chakra and had taught him to fight with shuriken and kunai. Naruto had also learned the basic chakra controlling exercises like tree walking, water walking and leaf balancing. Though it was very tough for Naruto as he discovered that he had enormous chakra reserves as he was a Jinchuriki. Many villagers seemed to believe that Naruto was dead as they could not see his face as he always wore his mask. This was the only habit in which he followed Kakashi completely. When some people did recognize him, and showed any hostility or taunted him, he was able to maintain a calm demeanor and did not respond, which was one of the reasons the people now simply used to ignore him, which was better than being beaten. But what he did not know was that there had been few attempts to harm him but were stopped by Kakashi and the Hokage, and the culprits had been dealt with, without Naruto even noticing them. But today was not the case. Naruto was doing his shuriken training at Training Ground 7 waiting for Kakashi to arrive. He knew his brother would be late so decided to start his training. He was getting better and better at throwing shuriken and was achieving most of the targets. Suddenly two people arrived at the training ground. Naruto looked at them and saw two ANBU standing there. Their faces were hidden by their masks, however their masks were different from most ANBU, because they were blank. Naruto Hatake, said the ANBU on the left flatly. Huh? Asked Naruto, curious as to why the ANBU were here and asking for him. Suddenly both the ANBU charged at him, drawing their swords ready to strike him down. Naruto had only time to blink as he barely dodged the strike of the swords but still got a cut on his face mask. It was due to sheer luck and due to some of Kakashi's training that he was barely able to dodge the blow. What the hell are you doing? Shouted Naruto angrily. The ANBU were surprised that he was able to dodge the strike but neither showed any emotions. They never showed emotions. Getting out of their daze, they started leaking a massive amount of killing intent. This was the type of killing intent of silence. Naruto was frozen in shock. His body wasn't moving, his heartbeat was increasing every second, he was already hearing it beating so many times. He barely was able to get a kunai from his pouch but his hands were trembling. He had faced a lot of angry villagers on many occasions but the killing intent these ANBU were leaking were the most powerful one he had faced in his entire life. There was a sharp pain in his eyes. The ANBU rushed at him. One of them swung his sword towards Naruto, chest, while the other ANBU jumped in the air with his sword drawn ready to cleave Naruto in half. Time seemed to slow down for Naruto, all the things started to move much more slowly around him. He could see the leaves rustling in the air at a much slower pace, he could see that the ANBU were drawing closer towards him. To any other shinobi the ANBU would seem like blurs, but for Naruto he was able to read their movements and the exact angle through which they were going to strike him. I can't move. What is happening? I can't die here. I will not die, thought Naruto in fear. Acting purely on what his instincts were telling him, he back-flipped a few meters away, but the ANBUs attacked him again. The one on the left tried to attack him with a diagonal slash from his sword, but before his attack could even connect, he felt something cold pierce his chest, but when he looked down all he could see was two red eyes with two tomatoes in it and a kunai buried deep in his heart. ANBU's lifeless body fell dead on the ground and after a few seconds a glow came from his left arm and the entire body was engulfed in flames, burning the body to ashes. Meanwhile Naruto was frozen in his spot, his hands were shaking, he was looking at the blood stained on his hands and realized he had just killed a man. He didn't know what happened, he had just ducked before the blow hit him, and before he realized what was happening his kunai was lodged into Anbu's heart. He had seen the shock in the man's eyes hidden behind his mask, which were then replaced with emptiness before he fell on the ground, and was burned to a crisp. I killed him. A murderer, thought Naruto sadly, and tears started to drop from his eyes. Meanwhile the remaining ANBU was shocked to see his partner killed by the boy and was just about to attack him, and was already charging towards him. Naruto was frozen in his spot, so it looked much easier. ANBU readied his sword to deliver the blow, but his entire body was electrocuted as something had pierced his chest. He looked down to see a hand sticking out of his chest which was covered in a ball of lightning. He only heard a single word before he fell lifeless on the ground. Reikiri. Kakashi was just returning after his visit to the memorial stone when he had felt the killing intent coming from the training ground where Naruto was. He immediately rushed towards the spot and was shocked to see Naruto pierce a kunai through an ANBU's chest. But before he could understand what was happening, he saw another ANBU charging towards Naruto, who was in shock due to his first kill. He quickly formed his Reikiri and disposed of the ANBU. He did not even wait to see the body burn as he immediately rushed towards Naruto. He immediately pulled Naruto in a hug and started patting his back. Naruto finally saw that Kakashi was here and started crying. After what seemed like a few minutes, Naruto's sobs stopped and he looked at Kakashi. "Ni-san, I killed him, I am a murderer," said Naruto with regret in his voice. Meanwhile Kakashi was shocked when he looked at Naruto's eyes. Naruto's sapphire blue eyes were now red with 2 black tones in it. How in the hell does he have the Sharingan? Thought Kakashi did not believe what he was seeing. "It's okay Naruto, you just defended yourself, now please tell me what happened," asked Kakashi softly. Naruto hesitantly nodded and told Kakashi about the entire incident. To say Kakashi was livid would be saying that Jiraiya was not a pervert. He was furious at Danzo, he knew that these ANBU belonged to Danzo. "I need to talk to Hokage-sama, but first I need to do something for Naruto," thought Kakashi tactically. "Naruto, let's go eat at Ichiraku's. You can talk to me there and also eat your ramen. I'll let you eat as much as you can today. But before that, stop sending chakra to your eyes," said Kakashi with a smile, hoping Naruto would not understand why he wanted to do it. "Hi," said Naruto, still in deep thought, and stopped channeling chakra in his eyes, which turned back to his sapphire blue eyes. "I guess eating ramen and talking with Ni-san will help," thought Naruto dejectedly. Kakashi felt relieved that Naruto did not notice the change in his eyes yet. Ichiraku's. Kakashi watched Naruto eat ramen quietly while talking to Ayame, who understood that Naruto was disturbed and was cracking some jokes to ease his mood. Talking with Kyuki and Ayame and eating 10 bowls of ramen had improved Naruto's mood to some extent. Kakashi had explained to him that he was attacked and he did what he had to do in order to protect himself, and it was not his fault, and it was an accident. This seemed to ease Naruto a bit, but he still regretted that he had killed the man, but not as much as before. After he finished his meal, Kakashi paid for the meal, and when Naruto was about to leave he felt someone hug him from behind. He looked back to see Ayame was holding him and Kyuki had a kind smile on his face. "Naru-chan, please be okay. I am always there for you," said Ayame with a kind smile which was filled with warmth. She then slightly pulled his mask down and gave him a soft kiss on his cheek. Naruto blushed. Ayame was beautiful and he loved her like his older sister, and she cared for him. Apart from Hiruzen and Kakashi, Kyuki and Ayame were the only ones who cared for him in the village and loved him. "Arigato, Nei-chan," said Naruto happily, and hugged Ayame back as a lone tear escaped from his eye. Meanwhile Kakashi and Chuki both had smiles on their faces on seeing the affection between the brother and sister. After a few moments Naruto recomposed himself but still had a blush on his face as he touched his cheek where he could still feel Ayame's lipstick mark. "Ah, you two look so cute, it looked as if you were his girlfriend," teased Chuki playfully. Naruto had a deep blush on his face while Ayame's cheeks went a little pink. "I wouldn't mind that, would you like Naruto-kun?" Ayame whispered in Naruto's ears mischievously. This got different reactions from the men. Kakashi had a perverted smile on his face. Chuki was just dumbfounded by his daughter's reply but after a few moments chuckled. But the person who was embarrassed the most was Naruto, whose blush just got a lot deeper. "What?" asked Naruto dumbly after a few moments. "I'm hurt. You don't think I'm good for you," said Ayame and pouted. No, I didn't mean that, Ayame-chan. You are so beautiful, kind and caring," spoke Naruto quickly, but quickly covered his mouth on realizing what he had said. All the others laughed at his innocent answer while Ayame just got a light blush on her face. "Looks like you'll have to learn Ototo." "Here," said Kakashi happily, and tried to hand Naruto his Ika book but before he could even blink Ayame took the book from his hands and tore it to pieces and pointed a kunai just between Kakashi's legs. "My precious," yelled Kakashi in horror, as he saw his book getting destroyed. "Kakashi, if you ever try to corrupt my Naru-chan with that smut, I'll castrate you," said Ayame threateningly and in such a voice that promised a lot of pain. "Hi," said Kakashi nervously when he felt a knife being pressed a little harder on his crotch. "Whoa, she's scary. Looks like I'll have to hide my book." "Aw man," whined Chuki in his mind. "Never read Ika in front of women. Troublesome," thought Naruto with fear. Somewhere two Naras sneezed. "Good," Ayame said with a smile. All three men faulted her sudden change in behavior. At one moment she threatens you and the next she is back to normal. Troublesome women, thought Naruto, Kakashi and Chuki at the same time. Somewhere two Naras sneezed again. Looks like some poor soul is tortured by some troublesome women, thought both at the same time. Before any further talk could take place, Kakashi simply dragged Naruto away from the ramen stand hoping to save his balls. It had been a few minutes since they left the ramen stand. They were now standing in front of a playground. It was already evening and Kakashi had to report the incident to the Hokage. "Naruto, why don't you go and play with those kids? It'll be fun," said Kakashi pointing towards four boys of Naruto's age who were playing. "Are you sure, Ni-san? You know that they may not accept me," said Naruto sadly. Kakashi frowned on thinking how much the villagers had traumatized Naruto but not any longer. "I am sure, Naruto. Go have fun, I have to talk to Hokage-sama about what happened today. I'll pick you up in an hour," said Kakashi and disappeared via a shunshin. "Man, I really need to learn that," thought Naruto with a chuckle. There were currently four boys playing in the field, well, not exactly. The first boy which Naruto saw had pineapple-colored hair which was tied upward in a short pony. His face was angular and he was busy watching the clouds. The boy sitting next was continuously eating chips and was a little chubby and had light-colored brown hair and a round face. One of the boys was sitting next to the others and was playing with a little pup. He had 2 marks on his face and slightly pointed teeth and dark brown hair. The last boy was sitting away from the others. He had black hair and his eyes were covered by sunglasses and he wore a light gray jacket. As Naruto approached the boys, a little hesitantly, after years of being rejected he feared that even these kids would reject him like the kids from the orphanage. "Who are you?" asked the boy with the pup curiously. "I am Naruto Hitaki, can I join you?" asked Naruto hesitantly. "Sure. I am Choji Akamichi," said Choji happily and offered some chips which Naruto accepted happily. "I'm Inuzuka Kiba and this is Akamaru," said Kiba and Akamaru barked. Nara Shikamaru, said Shikamaru curiously. What's with the mask? Thought Shikamaru with a frown. I'm happy to meet you all. Hey you, can I know your name too? Asked Naruto loudly, to the boy with bugs. On hearing being called he came towards the group and was surprised that they didn't back away from him when his bugs crawled in his shirt. Aburame Shino, stated Shino stoically. Naruto Hatake. It's nice to meet people from 4 different clans of Konoha, said Naruto sharply. You know about our clans? Asked Choji in surprise. Yeah, my brother taught me. You are from the Akamichi clan. Your clan specializes in combat and is known for your physical strength and great research on food pills which were formed by your clan. Also you own many restaurants in Konoha, said Naruto briefly. You are from the Nara clan, one of the smartest clans of Konoha. Your clansmen are known for your sharp knowledge and thinking, and advanced knowledge in medical ninjutsu and medicines, said Naruto simply. You are from the Inuzuka clan, one of the 3 best tracker clans of Konoha. You and your Ninken companions are best in tracking and hand-to-hand combat, said Naruto with a small smile. You are from the Aburame clan. Your clan use Kikai bugs for tracking or capturing an enemy. Your clan is known for your logical thinking and is one of the best tracker clans of Konoha alongside the Inuzuka and the Hyuga, said Naruto seriously. Meanwhile all 4 boys stared dumbly at Naruto. Choji was pleased that Naruto didn't call him fat like many kids. Shikamaru was interested in knowing more about Naruto. Kiba and Akamaru both were happy when Naruto praised their clan and didn't call Akamaru a dog but Kiba's partner, while Shino was also intrigued as Naruto was not at all affected by his bugs and praised his clan. Whoa, you know all about our clans, now tell us something about yourself, said Shikamaru curiously. Tell you what, let's race. If you defeat me I'll tell you all you want, said Naruto with a smirk. I know how lazy you Naras are. You won't get to know about me easily, thought Naruto with a smirk. Troublesome, muttered Shikamaru with a yawn. Okay, said Choji cheerfully. You're on, I'll defeat you Naruto, boasted Kiba loudly and Akamaru barked happily. I accept your challenge Naruto-san, stated Shino simply. Naruto's fine Shino, what say friends? Asked Naruto, holding out his hand. Friends, they all agreed in unison and shook each other's hand. I finally have some true friends, thought Naruto happily. Only if he knew that these boys would become his best friends for life and would always stand by him. Hokage Tower. Hiruzen smiled while watching the entire interaction between the kids through his crystal ball. At first when Kakashi reported the entire incident he was angry, but as the bodies of the attackers were destroyed by the seal on them, there was no proof against Danzo, so he had to let it go, but he would keep a close eye on Danzo from now on. He was saddened to hear that Naruto, who was just 6, now had his first kill, but after watching the entire scene and seeing Naruto finding some true friends, he was overjoyed. Perhaps there is still hope for Naruto's acceptance, thought Hiruzen hopefully. He finally has some friends, said Kakashi happily. Indeed, the will of fire burns brightly in them. They are the future of the village, said Hiruzen sagely. Hokage-sama, I still can't understand how Naruto has the Sharingan. Asked Kakashi curiously. No, you are wrong, he is a descendant of the Uchiha clan. So he has finally awakened his birthright, said Hiruzen more to himself than Kakashi. What? Asked Kakashi a little loudly. It is true Kakashi, said Hiruzen simply. But Hokage-sama, Naruto's mother was an Uzumaki not an Uchiha, and Minato-sensei was an orphan, said Kakashi quickly. Yes, Kushina was not an Uchiha, but that was not the truth about Minato, said Hiruzen seriously. I don't like the sound of this, thought Kakashi worriedly, as he somehow had a guess as to what the answer would be. Kakashi, what I am about to tell you is one of the biggest secrets of Konoha. Only I and Jiraiya know about this, but as you are Naruto's guardian and you already know this much, I will tell you the truth. This is an SS rank secret, so I wouldn't need to remind you of the penalties, would I? Asked Hiruzen sternly, and Kakashi immediately nodded. What do you know of Minato's parents? Asked Hiruzen seriously. Sensei was an orphan whose parents died in the Second Shinobi World War, said Kakashi simply, and Hiruzen nodded. Yes, you are correct. Minato's parents died in the Second Shinobi World War, but the more important thing is the identity of his parents, said Hiruzen suggestively. Who were they? Asked Kakashi cautiously. Yamato Namikaze and Rei Uchiha, said Hiruzen, shocking Kakashi to the core. Now I know why Minato-sensei understood Obito better than me, thought Kakashi in surprise. Rei Uchiha? Asked Kakashi curiously. Her identity is not known by many people as she was banished from the Uchiha clan, explained Hiruzen slowly. Why was she banished, Hokage-sama? Asked Kakashi curiously. Because of her lineage, said Hiruzen sadly. What lineage? Asked Kakashi. She is the daughter of Izuna Uchiha, said Hiruzen nervously. Izuna Uchiha? Asked Kakashi. He was the younger brother of Madara Uchiha, stated Hiruzen darkly. Kakashi was frozen in his place. The man was a legend, and the thing he had just found was a great shock to him. Hokage-sama, so Naruto is the great-grandnephew of Madara Uchiha? Asked Kakashi nervously. Hi, Izuna died during the war-torn era. This was before the formation of the Hidden Leaf Village by the Uchiha and the Senju clans. But when Madara defected from the village, Rei was ostracized from the clan as she was Madara's niece and was banished from the clan after some time. She after some time met a young Junin who was Yamato Namikaze, Minato's father. He was the clan head of the Namikaze clan. The Namikaze were not a big clan and were not quite famous at that time. They fell in love with each other and married discreetly, with only me knowing of this as I was the Hokage. But during the Second War they died, and Minato became an orphan, said Hiruzen briefly and took a puff from his pipe. In order to protect Minato from the Uchiha, his identity was kept secret with only me, Jiraiya, Minato and Kushina knowing this. Also he was not able to awaken the Sharingan, so no one knew, said Hiruzen seriously. So Naruto is the descendant of the Namikaze, Uchiha and the Uzumaki clans? Asked Kakashi in shock. Yes, and it must remain a secret until Naruto is old enough to understand this. And I must not explain to you what would happen if the Uchiha came to know of this. They would demand Naruto to be taken into their clan and will use him as a weapon just like Danzo. Also they have been acting suspiciously a lot, said Hiruzen, muttering the last line silently so Kakashi couldn't hear, and was successful. I understand, but what should we do now? Asked Kakashi worriedly. Train him in using the Sharingan discreetly, and if he asks any questions tell him they will be answered when he becomes a Chunin. If he persists, send him to me. Kakashi, no one else should know of this. Naruto's Sharingan should not become public knowledge, as the council would then surely have another reason to turn him into a weapon, and this time Danzo won't stop. He already sent his operatives today to test Naruto's skill. I'll keep an eye on him, said Hiruzen tiredly. Understood, Hokage-sama. I will train him and he will be entering the academy next year with his friends. I want him to be with his true friends and have a normal childhood. But I will also try to not make him entirely dependent on the Sharingan, said Kakashi seriously. I'll have to inform Jiraiya, thought Hiruzen sharply. Agreed, you are dismissed, Kakashi, said Hiruzen, and Kakashi bowed and left the office. Hiruzen sighed. He was tired, and looking at the paperwork in front of him, he groaned. Man, I won't get to read my Ika, thought Hiruzen sadly. Chapter 2, The Secrets of the Sharingan. It had been a month since Naruto had awakened his Sharingan. A lot had changed in the village. The entire Uchiha clan was massacred by Itachi Uchiha. The village had still not recovered from the shock. There was only one survivor of the attack, he was Sasuke Uchiha. His mental condition was not looking good. Many things had changed since then. Due to the Uchiha's massacre, Hiruzen had issued a martial law and placed the village under strict security. He now took complete control over the village. He overruled the council with the help of the fire daimyo and gained complete control over the shinobi as well as civilian affairs of the village. The entire civilian council and the elders were furious and demanded him to give them back their power. But Hiruzen knew that he was the Hokage and he should be in command. The council were just advisors and should just advise, and not order him around. So with a few executions of some greedy counselors and imprisoning Homura and Kaharu, the problem was solved. The Shinobi Council supported his decision, and surprisingly Danzo did not raise any objections, and it troubled Hiruzen very much. Just what was Danzo up to? Ever since Danzo's personal bodyguards attacked Naruto, Hiruzen had reprimanded Danzo. He knew he could not take more stricter actions against Danzo as it may lead to revolt in the village, but in order to show Danzo his place, he had reduced Danzo's personal shinobi to some extent. Danzo objected to this and had said that he had no hand in this and those shinobi acted on their own, but Hiruzen had threatened him to be in line or suffer the same consequences as the elders. This seemed to shut him up, but Hiruzen knew better. Hiruzen knew that his actions may have increased his enemies, but it was past time he gained control over the village. The Uchiha clan's massacre opened his eyes, making him see how much he was swayed by others' influence. But what troubled him most was Naruto. Ever since he awakened the Sharingan, his demeanor started to change. He was now more reserved and only was his usual self to the people which he trusted. Kakashi and Hiruzen decided to give Naruto some time to cope up with his first kill, because even if he was to become a shinobi, he was a 6-year-old child who had taken a life. He could still remember the day when they told Naruto about the Sharingan. It was after a few days after the Uchiha massacre, and the questions Naruto had asked unnerved Hiruzen a bit because they were way beyond a person of Naruto's age could even understand, but surprisingly Naruto understood it perfectly. Flashback. Few days ago. Naruto was right now standing in the Hokage's office. It had been a few days since his first kill. Kakashi had given him a break from his training and he spent most of the time with his friends. But something was bugging him and he decided to ask the Hokage about it. "What can I do for you, Naruto?" asked Hiruzen kindly. "Gigi, I wanted to ask you something," said Naruto politely. "Go ahead," said Hiruzen, but somehow he had an idea of what Naruto was going to ask. "Gigi, how was I able to evade that strike from the ANBU? I was no match for them. At one moment they were charging at me and I thought I was going to die. But then everything seemed to slow down, there was a pain in my eyes and then I could see ANBU's movements before he performed it." "I don't understand," said a confused Naruto. Sighed Naruto. "What I am about to tell you is a secret, and you should not reveal it to anyone until very necessary. Do you understand?" asked Hiruzen sternly. "Hi," said Naruto sincerely. Hiruzen then took out a small mirror from one of his desk drawers and asked Naruto to come closer. "Naruto, I want you to channel chakra into your eyes," said Hiruzen seriously. Naruto did as told, and when he looked in the mirror he was shocked. Instead of his blue eyes they were now red with 2 black tones surrounding it. "Gigi, is this the Sharingan that Nisan has?" asked a stunned Naruto. "Yes Naruto, it is the Sharingan," said Hiruzen truthfully. "So I am an Uchiha," said Naruto dejectedly, as the entire clan had been massacred, and now he could not find any more family. He did not like the Uchiha much, but still they were family. "Not exactly, yes you are an Uchiha, but there are some other things about your parents which I would like to tell you when you are older." "You alright Naruto?" asked a concerned Hiruzen. "Yeah, a bit," said Naruto silently. "Are you angry at me for not telling you this?" asked Hiruzen gently. "No," The Uchiha did not like me much, so I guess we are even, and I understand you had good reasons, said Naruto quietly. Naruto, don't you feel sorry for them as if they were somehow your family? Asked Hiruzen curiously. A bit, but they were so cold towards me, so I don't know what to feel. I am sad that they were killed, but I didn't know any of them, so I don't know what to feel, said Naruto tiredly. Alright, I understand, Naruto, I will tell you about your parents when you are older. Is that alright? Asked Hiruzen kindly. I think so, I have a lot of things going in my life, and I don't think I can handle another new revelation right now, even though I want to know about them. Now is not the time, explained Naruto briefly. You're too smart for your own age, Naruto, said Hiruzen with a smile, and Naruto nodded a little sheepishly. Gigi, were my parents bad people? Asked Naruto, suddenly catching Hiruzen off guard. No, Naruto, they were one of the best people I have ever met. They loved you with all their heart. They were proud shinobi of the leaf who gave their lives to protect the village, said Hiruzen honestly. Gigi, what is the meaning of the village? What is a true shinobi? Asked Naruto as he wanted to know why his parents died for the village, and left him alone in this cruel world. Hiruzen was shocked on hearing Naruto's question. He remembered the first and the second Hokage's advice to him regarding the Sharingan, and knew that his answer would be very important in deciding Naruto's thinking and his future. He had failed in teaching Orochimaru, and he had fallen into darkness, and he won't let that mistake happen again. A village is a place where people come together. It is a place where people put aside all their past differences and end the chaos. It is a place where the children and the old are protected, the young prosper. It is a place where people can spend their life in peace, said Hiruzen carefully. What is the duty of a shinobi? Being a shinobi meant leaving your child in a cruel world alone. To let him face difficulty and hardships and pain alone. Is it not a parent's duty to protect and be there for their child? Aren't they supposed to take care of them? If a parent leaves his child like this, then they are trash, yelled Naruto with tears in his eyes. Hiruzen got up from his desk and went towards Naruto. He then leaned down and put a hand on his head, and lifted his chin with his other hand so he could look in his eyes. When he looked in his Sharingan eyes, he saw pain, hurt, betrayal, and knew he had to make things right. Naruto, let's us go for a walk. Hold on to my hand tightly, said Hiruzen seriously, and grabbed Naruto's hand and shunshined from his office. When Naruto opened his eyes, he saw he was standing on the top of Yondaimi's face at the Hokage monument. It was evening time and the sun was setting and the village looked beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? Asked Hiruzen kindly. Yeah, said Naruto with a small smile. Naruto, the village is not formed by bricks and stones. It is founded by the people. When you look at the people, what do you see? Asked Hiruzen curiously. Naruto looked towards the village and saw some kids playing far away, some people enjoying in a nearby restaurant, some people were just chatting around, and much more. It brought a small smile to his face. The people look happy and at peace, but it also makes me realize that I may never have such happiness in this world, said Naruto dejectedly. That's not true, Naruto. Yes, it is very unfortunate and sad that your parents died, but you are not the only orphan in this village. And you still have me, Kakashi, Tsuki-san and Ayame-chan and your friends, don't you? Aren't we your family? I think that does count to some happiness, said Hiruzen kindly. Sorry, Gigi, I just got swayed by my emotions. Yes, I have you guys. I don't know what I would have done without you all, said Naruto with a smile behind his mask. I understand. Now come on, there is one more place we have to go, said Hiruzen happily, and offered Naruto his hand as they shone. Right now Naruto and Hiruzen were standing in a clearing surrounded by trees, and there was a big stone situated in the center of the clearing. Hiruzen took Naruto towards the stone. Gigi, what is this place? Asked a confused Naruto. This is the place where the heroes of the Hidden Leaf Village are honored, said Hiruzen sadly. Heroes? Asked a confused Naruto. Yes, can you see that stone? Asked Hiruzen simply, and Naruto nodded. There the names of all those shinobi who gave their lives in order to protect the village are written, said Hiruzen seriously. Are my parents' name there? Asked Naruto sadly. Yes, said Hiruzen honestly. Gigi, can you please tell me their names at least? Please Gigi, pleaded Naruto with his puppy dog eyes. Damn, where did he learn that, thought Hiruzen with a frown. All right, but I will only tell you your mother's name. I'll tell you about your father some other time, offered Hiruzen. Naruto pouted. He wanted to know his father's name, but at least his Gigi was telling him his mother's name. He wanted to know her name for so long. Okay Gigi, said Naruto with a smile. Her name was Kushina, said Hiruzen, sadly remembering all the time he spent with her in Minato. Naruto went towards the stone and after a few moments he reached a point where his hands froze. Written on that place was the name of a person he desired the most in the world. The one person which he never had, his mother. He wanted to know what a mother was like. He had seen his friends with their mothers and every time his heart ached when he saw that his mother was not alive and with him. How he could have had the love of a mother, how badly he wished his mother was alive. Kushina Uzumaki. Ka-chan, said Naruto with tears in his eyes. Hiruzen put a hand on his shoulder and waited in silence for Naruto to let out his feelings. Naruto cried for a few minutes but after that he seemed to settle down. Naruto, inside every shinobi of the Leaf Village burns the will of fire, said Hiruzen kindly. Will of fire? Asked Naruto quietly. It's the unbreakable bond that every shinobi in the village has with each other. It gives us the strength to protect our village. A shinobi is a person who endures pain and faces hardship in order to protect something precious, that is the will of fire, said Hiruzen kindly. The will of fire burnt brightly in your parents. Imagine if they and many other shinobi had not sacrificed their lives, then the village would have been destroyed. The peace in which we live would not exist, the people who are living happily may not be alive, if not for the sacrifice of these heroes. The path of shinobi is one of sacrifice and pain, that is a shinobi, concluded Hiruzen. Do you think I can become a good shinobi? Asked Naruto hopefully. Let me ask you something first, what is precious to you? Asked Hiruzen seriously. My family, friends and my village are precious to me. Even though some villagers may not like me, this was the country I was born in and this was the village which my parents gave their lives for, so I will honor my parents and protect it. Do you think the villagers will accept me? Asked Naruto with hope in his eyes. The will of fire burns the brightest in you, my boy. And yes, I truly believe that the people will see you as a hero one day. I believe in you Naruto, said Hiruzen kindly. Arigato Gigi, I will follow my own path, and will fulfill my dream and protect the village, said Naruto with determination, and gave Hiruzen a hug which he returned. I have no doubt about it. Now would you like Kakashi to train you in using the Sharingan? Asked Hiruzen curiously. Hi, said Naruto excitedly. All right, I'll ask Kakashi to train you tomorrow. Give it your best, now go and play with your friends if you like, said Hiruzen happily. Hi, said Naruto and rushed off to play with his friends. That went pretty well, Sandaime-sama, said Kakashi with a smile coming out from the trees with his book in his hand. It went better than I expected, but we just avoided a major problem today Kakashi, said Hiruzen in relief. Yea, even I was taken off guard by his questions, said Kakashi seriously. Yes, it was indeed troublesome. If not for Shodai-sama and Nadaime-sama's advice, I don't know what would have happened, said Hiruzen worriedly. What do you mean Hokage-sama? Asked a confused Kakashi. As you know, an Uchiha activates his Sharingan when he is faced with emotional turmoil, despair in life or death situations, said Hiruzen, and Kakashi lowered his head as he remembered his friend Obito activating it. But when a person activates the Sharingan he starts to change, said Hiruzen gravely. I don't understand, Hokage-sama, said Kakashi with a frown. The Nadaime had told me that the Uchiha were a clan who sealed off their own emotions. So when they awaken the Sharingan, all the hidden emotions awaken with it. For people who want power, the eye gives them power, but also increases their ego, making them think they are invincible. For those who have experienced sadness or pain, it changes them to people who hate the world. For those people who have stored away their love for the person or thing increases, and for those people like Naruto who are confused, it can end up in two ways. Either they would follow the right path in life or fall to darkness, and I don't want that for Naruto. He is like a grandson to me. The Uchiha's love was greater than that of the Senju, said Hiruzen, shocking Kakashi. But it still does not clearly explain what it has to do with Naruto. Asked Kakashi curiously. I'll explain it. As time passes, the person's Sharingan grows stronger, and so does his feelings. Many Uchihas in the past had become insane due to this. Nadaime had said the Sharingan is the eye that shows emotions. When I looked into Naruto's eyes today, I saw sadness, pain and betrayal in them. If these feelings would have grown, can you imagine what would have happened? Said Hiruzen gravely. He would have hated the village and many people for his fate, and his Sharingan combined with Kyuubi sealed in him could have made him a new Madara, said Kakashi in shock, realizing what could have happened. Indeed, Hashirama-sama had told me that it was the insane love of Madara for his younger brother that made him mad. So he had told me to treat them with love, but I failed once again, but I won't let it happen with Naruto. I had tried to talk to Sasuke sometimes, but the trauma he has suffered is intense, and he refused to talk, but I hope with time he will recover from it, said Hiruzen hopefully. Kakashi nodded, understanding what the Sandaime meant, as he could not stop the Uchiha's demise and was blaming himself. I'll have to be careful with Naruto. But I will train him to be a better shinobi, and a good man, thought Kakashi with determination. The next day, Naruto and Kakashi were standing in the Forest of Death, aka Training Ground 44. Kakashi had brought Naruto here many times in order to train him. He had chosen this place in order to train Naruto in using the Sharingan, as almost nobody came to this place, so they wouldn't notice Naruto using the Sharingan. Today the training was going to be different. First of all, Kakashi was not reading his book, and was looking serious, while Naruto was also ready to begin his training. After talking with the Hokage, his resolve was strengthened and his goal became more clear to him. Alright Naruto, since I have already taught you chakra control exercises, and basic taijutsu, I deem you fit to learn ninjutsu, and how to use the Sharingan from today. You up for this? Asked Kakashi cheerfully. Hi, Ni-san, said Naruto politely. Alright, first of all I'm going to teach you the basic jutsu which academy students are taught. Normally you shouldn't be learning ninjutsu at such a young age, but you have some enemies in the village, and so in order to defend yourself, you are going to learn ninjutsu, said Kakashi firmly, earning a nod from Naruto in return. But before we start your training, I am also going to teach you how to use the Sharingan, said Kakashi and lifted his headband, opening his Sharingan eye. Ni-san, can you tell me the abilities of the Sharingan? Asked Naruto curiously. Alright, Naruto, but first activate your Sharingan, and tell me what you see, said Kakashi firmly. Naruto channeled chakra into his eyes, and instantly a two-tomo Sharingan appeared. Ni-san, I can see the chakra flowing in your body. Also, when the Anbu attacked me, I was able to predict his movements before he made them. That's all I know about the Sharingan, said Naruto honestly. Impressive. The Sharingan has many attributes, and one of them is certainly to predict one's movements before he or she actually makes them. The Sharingan has 3 levels. First, is the level with only tomo in each eye. Within this form, You can partially predict movements as well as see the opponent's chakra array, albeit a little bit blurry. Only after the second stage of the Sharingan, which consists of 2 tomo in each eye, would you be able to fully visualize the opponent's chakra flux and composition. Within the second level, the Sharingan can then copy the hand signs as well as how much chakra is needed for either ninjutsu or genjutsu. Finally, the third level, which of course, is composed of 3 tomo in each eye, is when the Sharingan is complete and no technique escapes from the eye's copying ability. Also, as your Sharingan develops, your speed will certainly increase simply because you'd be 1 step ahead of every move your opponent makes, explained Kakashi briefly. Naruto listened to the entire explanation carefully, and was amazed with the abilities provided by the Sharingan. So I can copy any ninjutsu, genjutsu and taijutsu styles. That's impressive, said Naruto with a smirk. Hold your horses, yes you can copy them, but that does not mean you have to do it, said Kakashi firmly. Why not? Asked Naruto in confusion. You should not be too reliant on these eyes. You should also learn things on your own, said Kakashi seriously. I get your point, Ni-san. But you told me once we are shinobi, nothing in our line is fair. My opponent will not hesitate to hold anything in a fight with me, and neither do I. And shinobi should use all the tools they have in order to achieve victory. The Sharingan is a tool, and I will use it, but I will also work hard and learn on my own too, said Naruto with determination. Kakashi was left speechless. His little brother had just outsmarted him, and his answer was logical too. Naruto will need all the power. Alright, I get your point. Now before learning any ninjutsu, you must understand that it is divided into 3 parts, instructed Kakashi seriously. What are they? Asked Naruto curiously. First is to perform hand seals, the next is to gather and mold chakra, and the last step is to combine both the first 2 steps, and execute the technique perfectly. It requires utmost concentration, said Kakashi seriously, and Naruto nodded in return, signifying he got the point. Now the technique, which I am going to teach you, is the most basic technique, which almost every shinobi uses. It is called Kawarimi no Jutsu, said Kakashi briefly. What does this technique do? Asked Naruto curiously. With this technique, users replace their own body with some other object, generally with a block of wood, the moment an attack lands. This creates an optical illusion, making the enemy think the attack was successful. From this, the user can use the lapse in the enemy's attention to attack or flee from the battlefield, said Kakashi, and did the hand seals, and replaced himself with a nearby log of wood. He could have done that technique without hand seals, but he wanted Naruto to learn it. Meanwhile, Naruto had watched the entire process with his Sharingan. He had watched Kakashi perform the hand seals quickly. To any other person it may have seemed like a blur, but his Sharingan allowed it to see them. He also saw the chakra required to perform it. That is very useful technique, Ni-san, said an impressed Naruto. Indeed it is, but before you perform the jutsu first you must perform the hand seals as quick as me, said Kakashi seriously. Why do I need to perform hand seals quickly? Asked Naruto in confusion. Because in a fight your enemy won't allow you to perform your jutsu. So you need to be quick in performing the jutsu, and with its hand seals, explained Kakashi simply. Hehe, sorry Ni-san, said Naruto sheepishly, and rubbed the back of his head. That means you're not as smart as you look, teased Kakashi playfully. Huh, did you say something? Asked Naruto with a smirk. Kakashi had a look of horror on his face. Never in his entire life he had been outsmarted verbally, and now his little brother had used his own trick against him. If Guy finds out about this then he'll never let me live with it, thought Kakashi fearfully, and paled on even thinking about it. Meanwhile Naruto was laughing loudly, as he had just tricked his big brother. Ha, got you Ni-san, thought Naruto with a smirk. For that you will have no ramen for a week and you will perform the hand seals while I play with you, said Kakashi with an evil chuckle. No, yelled Naruto in horror. Dodge, said Kakashi and threw 5 shuriken towards Naruto. Naruto easily dodged them, but saw dozens more shuriken coming towards him at lightning-fast speed. Shit, thought Naruto in shock, and performed the hand seals as quickly as he could, and replaced himself with a wooden log. Man, that was close, said Naruto in relief. You performed quite well, said Kakashi with a chuckle. Next time give me a heads up, will you? Asked Naruto irritatingly. I'll try, since now you know how to perform the technique, let's move on to the next one. Keep your Sharingan on, said Kakashi sternly. Ni-san, while I would like to learn much more with the Sharingan, I want to learn the next jutsu on my own and a little bit faster. Do you have any technique that can help me? Asked Naruto curiously. Yes, there is one technique. Now that I think about it, you should be able to perform this technique, as you have the required chakra and control. This technique helps the user learn a jutsu 10 times faster, said Kakashi seriously. What is it? Asked Naruto gleefully. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, said Kakashi with a smirk, as he knew how useful this jutsu was. Kage Bunshin? Asked Naruto in confusion. It is an B-rank jutsu, only Junin and people with high chakra levels are able to perform it, but you will be able to do it. First deactivate the Sharingan, said Kakashi. Naruto nodded and deactivated his Sharingan. What does this jutsu do? Asked Naruto excitedly. It is similar to the clone technique. This technique creates clones of the user. However, these clones are actual copies, not illusions. The user's chakra is evenly distributed among every clone, giving each clone an equal fraction of the user's overall power. The clones are capable of performing techniques on their own and can even bleed, but will usually disperse after 1 or 2 solid blows. Shadow clones can't be distinguished from the actual person because the clones have the exact same amount of chakra and aren't made from any other substance. A characteristic that is unique to the shadow clone technique is that any experience the clones gain during their existence is transferred to the user once they are dispersed. This makes the technique ideal for spying, since the user can simply send a clone to spy on a target, then have the clone disperse itself without returning to pass the information back to the user. It's also useful for training purposes, since the total amount of experience the user gains is multiplied by the total number of clones being used to train. For example, if a user creates 1 shadow clone and trains together with this clone for 1 hour, then dispels the clone, the user gains 2 hours of training in 1 hour by adding the hours of the clone and the user together, explained Kakashi deeply. Naruto was practically drooling on the aspect of learning such a useful jutsu. It was the best thing after his Sharingan. Teach me now, said Naruto quickly. All right, now watch carefully, said Kakashi with a chuckle on seeing Naruto's eagerness to learn it, and he couldn't blame him. The shadow clone was one of the most advanced and beneficial ninjutsu. He made 2 hand seals and instantly 2 exact replicas of Kakashi popped into existence. As you can see, we are real, and can do anything, said both clones in unison, and started climbing a tree to show Naruto that they were real and not illusions. Wow, I'll do it too, said Naruto eagerly, and formed the hand seals. Wait, shouted Kakashi, but was already too late as he was surrounded in a cloud of smoke, and when his vision cleared he was shocked to see himself surrounded by 50 identical Naruto clones, all of whom had a smirk behind their masks. Yo, said all the clones in unison. Damn, I knew you would be able to do it, but 50 clones at your age is astonishing. You alright? Asked Kakashi worriedly. Yes, I'm fine. Just a lot of my chakra is spent, said Naruto a little roughly, as he was feeling the effect of the technique on his body. I understand, it is a forbidden technique, and if not for your high chakra reserves, and your tenant, you'd be dead by now. Naruto, You should always be careful while learning this technique, said Kakashi sternly, making sure Naruto understood his reasons. You worry too much, Ni-san, but I'll be careful, said Naruto with a smile. Good, that's what I'll always expect from you, said Kakashi happily. Ni-san, what should I do with these clones? Asked Naruto curiously. Kakashi thought for a moment. Meanwhile, all the clones were chatting among themselves, wondering what they were supposed to do. I think it's time to find out about his elemental affinity, maybe teach him a jutsu or two according to his element, thought Kakashi tactically, and took out a piece of paper. What is this, Ni-san? Asked Naruto curiously, taking the paper from Kakashi. This is a chakra paper. But before I tell you any further, tell me what are the 5 basic types of elements, and its applications for ninjutsu? Asked Kakashi sharply, hoping Naruto would give the correct answers, after all the training in books which he had made Naruto read. There are 5 basic types into which the nature of chakra can be transformed, called the 5 elements nature transformation Godai Seishitsu Henka. These 5 types are also called elements and are not only the origin of the names of the 5 great shinobi countries but also the foundation of all elemental ninjutsu. The 5 basic natures are all connected to each other in a circle, each being weaker than one and stronger than the other. They are fire, water, wind, earth and lightning, explained Naruto briefly. Accurate as always, I trained you well, said Kakashi proudly, and Naruto nodded humbly. Every person has chakra that has an affinity towards one of these types, a characteristic that seems to be genetic, since whole clans sometimes share the same affinity. Most members of the Uzumaki clan, for example, had an affinity towards the water nature. They were one of the most skilled water users in the world whose skills surpassed even the Nadaime Hokage, who was said to be the most powerful water user of his time. He could convert the moisture in the surrounding environment and create water, said Kakashi briefly. That's excellent, but what would happen if a person does not have the affinity for an element? Asked Naruto curiously. Usually it would be extremely difficult for a person to master the ninjutsu of that element, as it is not his type, and also it would require a lot of chakra. But it is not impossible. A person could still learn a technique of the element which he does not have, but it won't be very effective, explained Kakashi. So how can I find out my element? Asked Naruto eagerly. The paper which you have in your hand is a chakra paper, pieces of paper made from a special type of tree that are grown and fed with chakra that are used to react to even the slightest hint of chakra in any of a number of ways, depending on the nature latent in the chakra. If your affinity is fire, it will burn. If your affinity is water, it gets wet, damp. If your affinity is earth, it will crumble. If your affinity is wind, it will be sliced, and if your affinity is lightning, it will wrinkle. Now channel your chakra into the paper, let's see what you got, explained Kakashi seriously. Naruto then channeled chakra into the paper, and the results were quite astonishing. At first the paper got damp, then it got sliced in half. But before it could reach the ground, one half of it was burnt to ash while the other half wrinkled. Kakashi's eyes widened on seeing the results. He had expected Naruto to have 2 affinities at the most, but he had 4 natural affinities. That's impossible, thought Kakashi dumbly. Interesting, smirked Naruto proudly. Ni-san, how do I have 4 affinities? Asked Naruto curiously, bringing Kakashi out of his daze. I think it's because of who you are, Naruto, that you have these affinities, said Kakashi honestly. What do you mean? Asked Naruto confusedly. It seems that your water affinity is the strongest out of all your affinities, with wind rivaling it. Your paper got damp first, so you have a strong water affinity, also you have a strong affinity for fire and lightning. The reason I think for you having these affinities is because of your clan. You belong to the Uzumaki clan, who were the strongest water users in the world, so you got water as your strongest affinity. As for your fire affinity, the Uchiha clan's primary affinity was fire, so you gained that affinity as well. Your father had lightning affinity like me, so you inherited that from him, and as for your wind affinity, I think it is your own, said Kakashi suggestively. Okay Ni-san, but what was To-san like? Asked Naruto curiously. Your father was one of the most talented and strongest shinobi of the world. He was also a very smart and kind man who cared for his friends and village, explained Kakashi, also not giving any vital points about Minato's abilities. Thank you for telling me Ni-san, but will I be able to perform any earth techniques? Asked Naruto hopefully. They won't be very efficient, but with hard work you could at least be able to perform it as an average jutsu, said Kakashi honestly, and Naruto nodded, satisfied with the answer he got. Alright, now as you have water as your strongest affinity, I am going to teach you a water jutsu. It is called Mizu Bushin no Jutsu. It is similar to the shadow clone technique, except it creates clones out of water that have 1/10 of the original person's power. Like other solid clone techniques, the clones can be used to perform tasks the user is unable or unwilling to do for themselves. The range of the clone is limited, however, as it cannot travel very far from the original body without losing control. Like other clone techniques, if the water clones are injured enough, they will revert back to normal water. Now normally this technique requires a source of water, but you will be able to perform it, explained Kakashi and showed Naruto the hand seal. Naruto formed the tiger seal, and in a moment 3 identical water clones were formed. It seems I was right, you were able to convert the moisture in the air to water like Nadaime-sama, though you are not at all as great as he is with water manipulation, but with a few years of training you will be. You are indeed a true Uzumaki, said Kakashi proudly, and Naruto bowed in return, showing his appreciation to his brother. Ni-san, what rank was that jutsu? Asked Naruto curiously. It was AC rank jutsu. It is indeed impressive that you are able to do them, but don't ever get arrogant about your powers, Naruto. It has led to the downfall of many shinobi, said Kakashi strictly, and Naruto gave him an honest yes in return. I won't, Ni-san. What affinity do you have, Ni-san? Asked Naruto excitedly. My primary affinity is lightning, but I also have water as my sub-element, and I know a few fire and earth jutsu. Though I only know 4 wind jutsu, explained Kakashi briefly. That's impressive, Ni-san. Can you teach me any more jutsu? Asked Naruto hopefully. The prospect of learning new jutsu was quite interesting. Yes, I am going to teach you 3 more jutsu today, but first I want you to divide your clones into 2 equal groups. One of my clones will supervise each group, and will teach them a jutsu each, but keep their Sharingan active as it will help them maintain their Sharingan for a longer while, and will help in learning the jutsu faster, while you and I will meditate, instructed Kakashi. Why do I need to meditate, Ni-san? Asked Naruto with a frown. Meditation will help you increase your concentration, and better control of your chakra. It will also make you aware of your surroundings. Also, I want to find out something, said Kakashi silently. I hope I'm right on this one, thought Kakashi hopefully. Naruto nodded and divided his clones into 2 groups, and they went with each of Kakashi's clones to learn their respective jutsu. Naruto then sat in a lotus position and started concentrating. At first nothing happened, but after a few minutes of utmost concentration, he could slowly hear the sounds of faraway creatures of the forest, the flow of river, and most surprisingly he could feel Kakashi's chakra signature. Ni-san, why am I sensing your chakra signature? Said Naruto in confusion. As I expected, thought Kakashi with a smirk. You can sense my chakra because you are a sensor, said Kakashi proudly. A sensor? Questioned Naruto. Let me explain. Many in the Uzumaki clan were skilled sensors, so I had some expectations as you could also be one. A sensor Kanshi Taipu is a ninja that is capable of detecting the presence of other people through their chakra. A skilled sensor can detect their targets from a great distance, as well as differentiate the characters by their chakra signature alone. They are even able to tell when other sensors are using their abilities, explained Kakashi briefly. So can you teach me how to use my sensing ability too? Asked Naruto happily. Sure, I can give you some pointers, as I can detect chakra signatures and have a good sense of smell, said Kakashi truthfully, and started teaching Naruto. Meanwhile with Shadow Clones Group 1. In a clearing were standing 25 Naruto clones facing one of Kakashi's clones. There were training dummies in the field and the clones were waiting to be trained in a new jutsu. So what is this jutsu? Asked one clone of Naruto loudly. It is called Kaden, Gokaku no Jutsu, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. It is one of the prized jutsu of the Uchiha clan, and is a C rank offensive ninjutsu. In this technique, chakra needed inside the body is converted into fire, and expelled from the mouth either as a massive orb of roaring flame or as a continuous flame thrower. The scope of the attack is altered by controlling the volume of chakra that is mustered. The released flames will engulf their target, and leave a crater on the ground's surface, explained Kakashi's clone briefly. So how do we do it? Asked another Naruto clone quickly. Now, I'm going to perform the jutsu, and you will watch it with your Sharingan, instructed Kakashi's clone and performed the hand seals. Kaden, Gokaku no Jutsu, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. A large fireball was released from the clone's mouth, which rushed speedily towards one of the training dummies, burning everything in its path and with a loud bang crashed with the training dummy and burnt it to a crisp. The clones were fascinated with the jutsu, and copied it down and started performing the jutsu. Meanwhile with Shadow Clones Group 2. The jutsu which you are going to learn is called Suiten, Mizoripa Water Style, Violent Water Wave, explained Kakashi's clone simply. What does it do? Asked one Naruto clone in confusion. In this technique, water gushes out from the mouth like a waterfall and washes away the enemy. One can freely control the power of this technique with the amount of chakra one releases. Having many variations, this is a basic water release technique and is a C rank offensive ninjutsu, explained the Kakashi clone. He then performed the dragon, tiger and hare hand seals and spitted a small stream of water towards a nearby tree. The small wave crashed violently with the tree and created a small crater on the tree's body. Alright, now you have copied the jutsu and started practicing it, instructed the Kakashi clone. Hi, yelled all Naruto clones in unison and started practicing. Few hours later. It had been a gruesome training day for Naruto. He was now completely exhausted, as he received the memory of his shadow clones and the fatigue too. He had also learned some sensing ability from Kakashi, during these hours of meditation. Kakashi was proud of Naruto for learning so fast, and with his stamina, and decided to check the results of the 2 jutsu he learned. Naruto, do you think you can perform the jutsu the clones learned? Questioned Kakashi seriously. Yeah, I can do that, said Naruto panting heavily. He is exhausted but still is not willing to give up, thought Kakashi proudly. Naruto then performed the hand seals and performed the jutsu he had learned. Suiten, Mizoripa Water Style, Violent Water Wave. A large wave of water rushed out of Naruto's mouth, and flooded the entire clearing, and crashed against everything nearby violently with a loud bang. He is a skilled water user, he has the potential to surpass Naitami-sama someday, thought an astonished Kakashi after seeing the power of Naruto's jutsu. Indeed, he had the help of the Sharingan and the Shadow Clones, but to master a C-rank jutsu in a few hours at Naruto's age was a big feat. Without waiting for any comment from Kakashi, Naruto performed another set of hand seals, gathered chakra and executed his next technique. Kaden, Gokaku no Jutsu, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. A small fireball equivalent to the size of a large windmill shuriken was executed from Naruto's mouth. It crashed with a nearby tree, burning it to some extent. Excellent work, Naruto. You have already mastered the Suiten Jutsu, while your Kaden jutsu was good but it still needs to be more efficient. But I'm sure with training you will be able to do it, said Kakashi proudly. Thanks. Pant. Ni-san, said Naruto tiredly. Oh. Looks like you are tired. Even your stamina has limits, teased Kakashi. Naruto pouted and glared daggers at Kakashi, making him laugh. Tell you what, I'll teach you one last jutsu. It is an E-rank jutsu and requires minimum chakra. If you are able to do it, I'll take you to Ichiraku's today, said Kakashi with a smirk. You're on, Ni-san, yelled Naruto, all the fatigue gone from his body almost instantly. Anything for ramen, thought Naruto gleefully, imagining the number of bowls he would eat. I should have not said that. Geez, where does he get so much energy from? Whined Kakashi with anime tears dropping from his eyes. I'll get you for this, thought Kakashi with an evil smile. Alright, this jutsu is a basic technique which all ninjas use. It is called Henge no Jutsu. It is typically used to change into people other than oneself, but one also has the ability to change into animals, plants, and even inanimate objects like weapons. This gives this technique an abundance of uses. The transformation of a skilled shinobi will be exactly like the genuine article, so it will be impossible to tell the two apart. On the other hand, a transformation performed by an inexperienced person will have obvious discrepancies, explained Kakashi, and performed the hand seals, and performed the jutsu, transforming himself into a panting Naruto who had a stupid expression on his face. Hey, got you, thought Kakashi with a smirk. Meanwhile, Naruto had activated his Sharingan, and had watched the jutsu closely, and decided to give Kakashi some payback and performed the jutsu. Immediately in place of Naruto stood a tall blonde girl whose hair reached up to her. Her face was angular and she had beautiful blue eyes. She had a large C-cup, curvy and long silky legs, and the most astonishing feature was that she was completely. Kakashi had crashed into a nearby tree with a heavy nosebleed and had a perverted smile on his face before he became unconscious, and drifted into his perverted world. Payback's a bitch, Ni-san, thought Naruto with a smirk, and collapsed from chakra exhaustion, but had a large smile on his face for his success. After a few minutes, Kakashi woke up, and laughed on remembering how he was knocked out. He then went and picked up Naruto, who was sleeping peacefully. That jutsu was damn impressive. I'll have to learn that from him, thought Kakashi perversely. But still, he managed to learn so many jutsu in one day and mastered almost all of them. Minato-sensei, you would be so proud of him. I wonder what would happen if I teach him genjutsu. He would be a force to be reckoned with in the future. But I wonder what his academy life will be, thought Kakashi with a smile, and started walking towards their house. Only if Kakashi knew that this day had marked the birth of the Sharingan prodigy, who would decide the fate of the world. That's it for part 1. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Naruto What If stories. And comment below, how powerful do you think Dark ANBU Naruto will become? See you in the next video.